I'm so happy to announce my guest today. He is style creator, motivational speaker, and designer of Showlove. His name is Carl Ramsey. I just want to speak about how I met Carl. Hi, Princess. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Dee Dee. Hope you guys are well today. Thank you for joining in today's show. So excited of Let's Talk Fashion and Motivation. I want to speak a little bit about Carl. Hi, Steph. Yes, Steph. So Steph, you know, oh my God, Stephanie, I'm just confused now. I want to speak a little bit about Carl. So I met Carl well over 12 years ago. Me and my friend, we used to go to the tricycle fair at that time, but it's called Klein's now. And he used to have this discussion group. Hi, my little sister Jade, hope you're well. And it's called Verbal Intercourse. I'm going to ask Carl to tell us more about it. So yeah, we used to have this debate. It used to be like a group of women and a group of men. And then they would pick different discussions. And then from that, it was a bit like back chat. You know how back chat is nowadays. But we used to do it in the tricycle theatre. It used to be off the hook. And what I loved about it, I used to go there for the man them. I'm not even going to lie. I used to think, oh my God. Because them days, I was just single. There was a lot of hotties there. So I used to go there. Nana used to also go there as well. Hi, Craze Creations. How are you guys? Thank you for joining in. So yeah, so I'm just waiting for Carl to join in. Carl, where are you? Just waiting for him. Yeah, I know. To love y'all said it was brilliant. Them days, it was off the hook. As I was saying to you. Let me just talk about, in the meantime, while I'm waiting for Carl to join in. Just want to find out, guys, how's your week been? What have you been doing this week? What's your plans for next week? Anyone want to talk? Tune in. Carl, where are you? I'm just waiting for Carl to join in. Still waiting. I hope he didn't go into my other Instagram, because what we did before, we just had to practice. Sorry about that, guys. Hi, Big Russ. How are you? I'm just waiting for Carl to join in. He just texted me, so I just got to wait a little bit. Let me put on some tunes in the meantime. Just waiting for Carl. He's saying that he's going to pop up. So in the meantime, let's just dance to the music. Come on, Carl. Where are you? Hi, Brown Sugar. How are you today? Hope you're well. Thank you for joining in for Let's Talk Fashion and Motivation, episode 5. Just waiting for the guest to come on. He's telling me that he's just waiting to pop up. So just waiting for Carl at the moment. Carl, where are you? Carl. Right, let me just wrap it on. What am I going to say? Do you know, guys, you know when you're waiting for... Where's my dress from? Boohoo. Boohoo, out now. This is, well, I'm a plus size at the moment, so I'm a size 16. And this hat's one of my hats, because next year, I'm going to be selling hats and accessories as well. Hi, Tekla. Hi, Tech's Kitchen. I'm good, beautiful. I'm good. Looking lovely. Thank you, Brown Sugar. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm just waiting for Carl to log in. He's saying that how he's logging in at the moment, but I don't know where this guy is. Carl, you are disappointing me. And the thing about it as well, we literally just tuned in my other Instagram account. So I'm just waiting for him. I'm going to give him one more minute. Oh, thank you. You can't wait to get my hats. Listen, I got loads of different colours in these hats. So I've got pink. Do you know what? While I'm waiting for Carl, wait 1 minute. You know what? I might as well... So I've got the blue. So if you guys want to buy a hat, holler at me. Got the beige. Got greys. Burgundies. So with these hats, it comes with... I've got to sell myself while I'm waiting for Carl. Oh my gosh, where is it? I hope Carl's come on now. So I've got this one as well. So they normally come with the, you know, the headpiece in the middle. You want to, let's see the blue again. 1 minute. Here they are. Carl, where are you? I got the blue. It comes with this. So this is royal blue. I'm going to sell myself and sell my service. So it comes with this. So this goes around it. Then you've got it in the beige, the grey. If you lot want to find out more information, just inbox me. I'll tell you guys the prices. I've also got this one. I'm not meant to be doing this today, but boy, Carl is upsetting me still, you know. Where are you, Carl? Do you know what, guys? Can you just give me 1 minute? I need to find out if Carl's joining in because I need to make sure that everything's running smooth. 1 minute. Sorry about this, guys. I just spoke to Carl. I'm hoping that he's logged on now. This is like crazy. Carl, where are you? I'm going to drink my tea. Let me just tell you a few tips about myself, what I love doing in my spare time. Number 1, drinking tea. So I don't drink and smoke, but I love a good PG tips. It's crazy because, you know, like behind the scenes, I'm so boring. Number 2, I'm a homebody. I love to stay in. Don't really watch too much TV, but I'm just working on my business. Where's Carl? Do you know? Let's see if he's there. Oh, what? He's requesting, but he's texting me. Where's this guy? Yes! We've got our host, Carl Ramsey, coming on. Thank you guys for staying tuned. I love you guys. You guys are loyal. Hello, Mr. Ramsey. How are you?
What's happening? You all right?
You're good. Can you guys see him?
Sorry?
How you been?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good.
You're looking
I'm just
good, Carl.
working hard. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're looking really good. I love the beard. I love men with beards.
The beard's been around for about 24 years. I've had a beard since I was 13.
You know what? Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow. But you know what it is? Because, you know, sometimes you don't notice a beard. It's only because now you see like a lot of black guys rocking beards. Do you get what I'm saying? But in the background, I can see some lovely creations in the background.
Going on. Let me give you a look at lean so you can see what
What? Yes. Are they, is it unisex? It's men's and women's range?
Yeah. So the way I kind of create my pieces is anyone, if it fits you and you like the fit, it's for you. It's simple. I try not to complicate it. Try and keep it nice and easy. So yeah, it's good.
Right. So I'm going to welcome you. Welcome, Carl, Mr. Ramsey. Thank you so much for joining in episode 5 of Let's Talk Fashion and Motivation. Yeah. I've known you for quite some time. I was telling the audience before you tuned in that how I met you when I used to go to like Tricycle Theatre, and I'm just so excited about today. So that's what you said. Tell the audience, tell the viewers who you are and what you do, please.
That's a big question. I mean, fundamentally, I'm what I call a lifestyle curator. So I look at elements of, I suppose, the Black British experience, and I just try to bring it together. I try to epitomize it in some way. I try to represent where I'm from as best as I can. You see it? And that is, it's a difficult thing because for so long, young black men have been, what's the word? We've been told who we are. You know what I mean? We've been given labels and tags and, you know, we've been called aggressive or whatever from young. And, you know, I'm East London. Like, there doesn't come much more East London than myself. 43 years old now. Lived in like different parts of East all my life. South a bit as well. But the reason why I kind of always go back to my East London upbringing is because like it's a bit of a, it's a hub. It's a creative hub. A lot of, no disrespect to any other part of London. I'm not about that segregation thing. But I have to take my hat off to some of the artists, some of the philanthropists, some of the theatre people, actors, dancers. Some really interesting people came up with me from East London, younger than me, slightly older, and it's a culturally creative hub, and that's something I've always kind of got my teeth in. You know what I mean? I've always dug in deep and tried to kind of be a part of that experience. So who I am is it changes. Like my attitude has changed over the years. My attitude has changed since last year, if I'm honest. Essentially, I was quite excited when you asked me to come and do this because I've got a little bit of a new perspective about this whole fashion thing. Like I've been I've been involved in fashion, honestly, since I was a little boy. Like, I've always been very, very aware of what people are wearing and how they're wearing it. More so coming from where I come from, we don't have a lot. So the little bit you got to make work. And I come from a generation where Ralph Lauren was big. Ralph Lauren was probably, I was around the guys that wore Moschino and Off Keys and all that stuff. If you want to go even further back, we're talking about click suits. We're talking about
them days
pucker suits. There was even a lot of homegrown designers in Hackney. There's one, my sister used to wear these. I think they're called, I can't remember the suit. It was like a little jacket and some puffy bottoms. Looked like a TLC kind of vibe. Anyway, there's some Hackney designers that used to make them. And all the girls, I don't know if girls outside of East London were, but every girl that is trying to be a part of anything would wear these suits. I can't remember what they're called. But anyway, so I go back to that and I look at how we used to roll up our jeans and stuff. I mean, I didn't really, because I was just a little bit before that, but I used to admire older boys in school that used to wear their ballet shoes, or they used to wear their the Wallabies. Do you know what I mean? When Fila first came out, and it was the suede ones that were one colour, or the black ones, or the brown ones, and it was almost it was a competition of who could get the most exclusive pairs. Adidas Torsion was massive, Nike Air Max. You know, these things, for me, epitomised black British culture coming from my point coming up. So when I see them recycled now, I look at it, and even the Huarache thing now. Yeah, Huaraches came back out, 7, 8, 9 years ago? And the Huarache that I remember buying in 1993, was very different to the Huarache now. The materials are cheaper. And the problem is, and this is the big thing, everyone can get that Huarache, the new one. Everyone in there, you got mums and grands in Huaraches. Respectfully to mums and grands, they can wear what they want. But it now doesn't appeal to me because it's too accessible. And that is the point I want to expand upon regarding fashion.
Okay, because, so I want to also, I want to ask you, how have you been feeling since lockdown? Like, has it affected the way you've worked?
It's just made me more creative. Like, it's made me dig deep. Like, I can't expose myself too much because, you know, I'm a little bit of a private person, but I work.
You better expose yourself.
No, I'm not trying to expose myself. That's why that's why I don't have Facebook, because I'm not on all that. I don't want that accessibility. But anyway, I've got a job, innit? I've got a full-time job that pays the bills. So being a creative that has a full-time job, the take is different. I'm now not asking people to buy my clothes because I need supporting. I support myself. I'm a grown man. I've got children. So that is a side of my creativity. It's a nice thing to be able to make money from the creativity, which I have done, which I continue to do so. But you got to get to a point where it's like, it's got to make sense. You can't be looked at sideways by family and whoever. Like, this thing's still popular. Like, Showlove's been a relative, a viable brand, saleable, marketable brand for the last 17 years. Like,
wow.
So I started that back in 2003. And I wouldn't say I started selling back in 2003. I just started the idea. I only started selling in 2006.
Okay.
And by 2009-10, it was like, you got to have a jumper. You know, we reached some heights. I had 31 stores that I used to sell to between 2008 and 2010. 31 stores up and down the country. Because I'm, again, going back to the East London roots, I'm a hustler. Like, I used to fill up the boot and hit the road. I used to jump out on people in the car and say, that jumper you got on is terrible. You need to try one of these on. I love that. Listen, I used to go into barbershops and embarrass people. And it's a thing where you could get a punch in the face. I've never been punched in the face off the back of it. I'll just tell you that. But you can get a punch in the face if you're not slick, if you're not quick, if you haven't already thought about a man's response. And you got to know your audience. So you got to know who you're talking to. So I'll go into the shop, barber shop. And you know them places can be loud, especially if you're a stranger. So I sit down for a minute, listen to the loudest guy. And then I'll challenge him. And it always comes down to what he's wearing. And usually it's the main barber that people are waiting for, that they'll wait 2, 3, 4 hours for him to cut their hair. You get him on side, you've now got an open audience. Because he wear one of your jumpers, boom, And that was my strategy. I used to just jump in the car, I drive as far as I felt to for that day, find new stores that no one even heard of. I put them on the map. I made it relevant.
It's sick.
Do you know what I mean? It was a real hustle. Do you know what I mean? The turning point is I've got two really long-term friends of mine that, again, they're like me, but they're a little bit more, let's say streetwise, a little bit more vocal in that respect. They're well respected in those circles, yeah?
Mm.
And I made my North London friend, a guy called Io, he was Showlove North London. So he went and screamed about it up and down. Tall Alpha he's called him Longers. Good friend of mine. Like, it's one of my bona fide foundation friends because the guy is real. Like, I thrive on real people. And I don't mean real where you have to tell me all your business. I mean real when something happens, it would embarrass you to lie. That's what I mean by real. We don't really have that now. People are not embarrassed to lie. But like you see it on Instagram, people will wear lies. They'll go and rent clothes and borrow clothes. I've had people beg me to come to check them with some garms, taking pictures, not buy nothing, and then put those pictures up and say, just cop this from Showlove.
So, yeah, I know them ones. Especially on the stylist point of view.
Remember, I come from a different generation, so I'm watching all this stuff and I'm thinking, wow. Anyway, so I had another guy as well called Dean. You know, a bit of a face, originally from Hackney, but moved over to South. And Dean was Showlove South. People thought I worked for him. Do you see what I'm saying? So, and I didn't mind that. You know what? The biggest thing for me with this fashion thing is ego. Like, I've met countless people that have approached me and said, I want you to do what you've done with Showlove. One, why would I do that? But fair enough. I'm not even going to get there. I'm going to let a person talk, innit? Because I'm not rude. So I'll always give someone the time of day if it makes sense. So a man will say, yeah, I've got maybe 5, 6, 10 grand. I want to create my own line just like you've done. And I always ask, so what's the message here? Why are you doing it? And if they start talking about, because they feel it's about them as a person, I disconnect. And I think generally, if you scroll in your timeline now, every second, third, fourth person has a brand.
Yes. Changed tremendously.
It's a very strange one for me because I look at it. I've been in this craft and work this thing for 17 years, trying to not only sell pieces but understand the mindset of the consumer, and even understand, because it's the biggest marketing questions you can ask. Who is your consumer? Who wears your stuff? And I'll be honest, to this day, the people that have adopted my brand and fed me, put money into the brand by buying it, I don't know them. I don't recognize, like, just the most far out individuals who love the symbol, who love what I've done, or love that particular piece. And that's what it should be, because it shouldn't be connected to how you feel about me. I can be a bit of an arsehole sometimes. So understandably, some people might disconnect from me and then say, fuck the brand. Can
I ask you a question? So can you tell us what Showlove means? What is Showlove about?
That's a question that, for me, is self-explanatory. There's not enough love in the world. This is how I came up with it. So marketing-wise, I can say to you, there's not enough love in the world. My point is to develop this brand so that I can put a piece of love back into the world every day.
I like that. So show people them love. So when you got on the heart,
you can't, because you can
love
again.
brand,
I'll go back to it. You can not like me, but you can't look at my brand and say, "Oh, I don't like that." Well, you can do what you want, but you can't hate on love. That makes no sense. You can't hate on love.
Say that again.
You can't hate on love. Can you hear me? Yeah, you said you can dislike the person, but the brand ethos has always been about love. You know what I'm saying? So that is a different tack. So what I want to share with you today was, I was thinking about, again, I scroll on this Instagram thing timeline trying to make it make sense, every day. And I see a lot of brands coming out, man's name, the daughter and the mum's name put together, bait graphics that you can go and find on Word, Windows 10 Word, bait graphics, bait detail, embroidered, print, screen, cool, respect. Everyone's got to try their thing. The problem is, And this is what I noticed. People are giving you a discount before you've even decided whether you want the brand or not. They're offering you 30, 40% off. You see these brands come up with sale. I was privy to it for many years. I didn't really understand that I'm not just trying to sell loads and loads and loads of T-shirts and jumpers, which I have. Yeah. I'm trying to sell art on a jumper. You see like this piece behind me, it's got the little glitter hearts, and there's 12 different coloured hearts there, yeah? It's like on a tree in the shape of the heart. Every element of that is hand cut. I sit down with scissors and I cut it, and then I press it. That's why I make these videos now. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I can, hand on heart, call myself a designer now.
Definitely, because you're actually doing the design. You're getting involved.
I may not be making the jumper from scratch or whatever, but the jumper is my patent. I went to Turkey, got it produced, so I got the patent for that style of jumper. The fit is patented to.
Wow, that's deep.
Yeah, because I thought about the fit. Big guy, I'm a big guy, so big guys, they generally buy an XL or double XL or triple XL, and it looks like a house on them. Like when Nike view XL, the way most brands view XL, it's either Armani XL or double XL, which is mad tight, or that American fit. So when you look at British culture has always used elements from Armani, from the Italians, our slickness in our dress, the slimline things come in now, yeah, for many years, yeah. But the American brashness, we like the colour, so we like a fusion of the two. We always have. We love Americanisms, we love programs, we love what they eat sometimes, whatever. But we love the slickness of an Italian couture wear.
Yeah,
so if you go to any West End club, more time you're going to see people in designers, yeah. But then you can go 20 minutes, half hour down the road and see man wearing baggy trousers and the little shebeens. I'm going back a couple of years now because it's obviously not raving like that again. But my point is, I studied this thing for years. Even when, I don't know if you go back to Averex's. Averex's are ugly jackets. What the fuck what are we wearing them for?
You know what I mean?
But you can't read the certain man, you can't tell about the Averex now. They'll look at you like, are you serious? Are you crazy? My Averex cost this. I had that. I got the original. And I remember going to America when I was in my early 20s, bringing a load of Averexes over, because I went to the discounts, like the outlet store, and I sold them for stupid money. And that taught me something. People talk about designer and having this and having that and never leave their borough, never leave their postcode. They've never been to the West End because they're scared. So people like me would go grab that, bring it to your hood, boom, and charge you right money. I learned quickly. We've never had to sell drugs, really. I mean, it's not even a disrespect to a man that chooses to do that. That's your business, your choice, yeah. But for me, there's as much money, if not more, in clothing. Look at the markups. Some of the markups are like 200-300%. I know some of my markups are ridiculous, but I'm not selling what I bought it for. I'm selling the value of the brand.
Do you know, I like that, you know. Do you know, I'd even check it like that, but you're so right. I mean, if you are, you know, a drug dealer, because, you know, I used to be when I was a youth.
I remember you said, yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So, but it does make sense because you do get a massive markup. So I just want to ask you a question. So, so did you study fashion, by the way?
No.
You never studied fashion at all?
Everything I've done and everything I've learned and done is self-taught. That's why I can talk. When I talk about 17 years, I don't mean 17 years in that I've been smashing it for 17 years. Or I started at a point where I was so curious to learn. I took my time. So the cheeky thing with me, again, I think it's an East London thing, I wasn't scared to try a thing and then sell it on. Why not? Why not? When I really think about it, if I'm talking about 17 years, there's people that I can see a few names here that have got jumpers from me, yeah, from years ago, yeah. I've had people run up on me all the time. I've had the jumper 12 years, still strong, or I want this one again for what you did 15 years ago. All I hear and what I'm feeling now is value. Because you think about it, if you go into designers that are vintage, they're just worth more, no? So why aren't we operating on that premise? Why are we discounting our brands before we've even had a chance to breathe and live a little piece? Like, I've realised this thing now, yeah? I've got a 22-year-old in a minute. I've got a 15-year-old and an 11-year-old daughter, yeah? and I have regular daily conversations with these 3 individuals. They're my children, yeah? The interesting thing is, I can't see in any one of the 3 of them, maybe my daughter, leaning towards their own brand or developing what I've done or taking over from me. They've all got their own dreams and visions. And a little bit, it's heartbreaking. It touches me differently because it's like, oh, right, like, so I've been working all this time on my brand, and the children, like, if God forbid anything happens to me, the brand's not like, who cares? It's moved on. Do you see it? But when I really, really think about it, say my son's 22, yeah, it could, say he has a child within the next 10 years, yeah, let's say 30. By the time that child is 10, which is in 18 years' time, I'll be 60. That child could come to his granddad and say, Granddad, like, can you show me something? What are you saying? If that is the case, the brand's already 17, and we're talking 18 years' time, that kid's 10. My brand's then 35 years old. Regardless of whether I've made a mint of it or whatever, I can sit down with that boy, show him a piece of vinyl, show him my process, and tell him the minute you do your own thing and it comes from your own mind, valuable. You tell people what it's worth. You don't ask them. And again, this is what we do. We come out of our brands. We talk to the wrong people. We ask your advice. What would you buy this for? What do you think it's worth? We've got a standard. You know what? I've got a lot of respect for a guy that sadly passed away, I think, about a year and a half ago or so. Patrick Kevin.
Yes.
We used to have some deep conversations about brand value. Listen, that brother was way before his time.
He was dope. He must be like, he's like a superstar. You get me? Like, he used to make fur coats and velour tracksuits, and it was just so superstar-ish.
And he used to go a different route. He used to do it from scratch. And we used to have these little back and forth about, he'd say, you know, you need to go and do this, you need to go and do that. I said, P, with all due respect, you're doing your thing. I'm not around you to learn in that respectfully, to learn. You're a peer. You do your thing, I do mine. We always butt heads. We always link at events and trade events and stuff. And it's just sad that, like, he'd done so much, and I don't know if it will be documented in the way that it needs to be. I don't know if, because young people, like my 15-year-old, won't know who he is unless I break it down and show him all the rest of it. He won't know who Patrick Kevin is. Do you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying. But so now it's all about knowing who Showlove is, right? So it's about knowing who you are. So you know what? So when I first met you, I was telling the viewers that I used to go to Tricycle Theatre. What was that about? What was the discussion group? What was it called again? Right.
So you're going back to 2001.
Is that how long it was?
That's 2001. 2001.
Serious?
Yeah, because I met, a lot of people don't know, but I do a lot of pastoral work with young people. Like, I work with the police in different guises, as a conflict resolution specialist, as a mentor, like a gangs mentor, all that sort of stuff. So when I was working with the Tricycle, I was teaching poetry, coming off the back of my poetry days, many moons ago. Right. So they said to me, we've got this space at the back, creative space. We do want you to do something there once a week. And me and my little collective at the time, Nolan Weeks and Darwood and those sort of people, I said, you know what we should do is a discussion forum. Because what was happening, too many times we were getting to these deep, and we're quite intelligent boys, yeah? But we don't know everything. Then we thought we did. We thought we knew everything there was to know. Because each of us was reading, I was reading a book a week just so I could feed my head. I was so hungry for knowledge, I'd read all sorts of nonsense. One book a week to kind of challenge myself, help my writing, help my articulation, boom, boom, boom. Anyway, so I started this thing called verbal intercourse. And verbal intercourse was about taking a subject and breaking it down for what makes sense and what doesn't. Because respectfully to our parents and their parents, a lot of their information was dated. Like even now, 43, sitting there talking to you, like a lot of my information is dated. Like I have to reason with my 15-year-old to get updates in terms of what's going on. Yeah. You have to be involved in Instagram and all these things now, or what will you be doing? You'll be talking about EastEnders again and Coronation Street reruns and shit. Like we've got to update our shit. So back then, Tricycle Theatre, verbal intercourse was always about us making sense of the world around us. So we take a top subject. I'd research that subject for the week, and then I'd present my findings. And this is what we should be doing. We should be checking each other. And like even with this fashion thing, I love talking to people about fashion and terms of what they will spend, where the value like. And when I tell them right now, my jumpers are 120 basic heart. They used to be 50, 60 quid. If my jumper's been, example, my jumper's 15 years old, say, and 15 years ago, in 2005, I sold it for £50. What progress have I made if I'm still selling £50 in 2020?
It's true. It's so true.
Now, respectfully, I do not want a £50 customer. Don't spend that £50 elsewhere. Like, you got to be a £120 customer.
Yeah,
or at least but you know what? It's about aspiration. The Italians definitely. With the fashion houses, they've made us aspire. Think about, I went the other day to buy my son a pair of trainers. I don't make trainers, so respectfully, just can't do our thing, yeah? I can't walk out my house for less than £2 for one pair of trainers. I'm not saying I'm going to spend the whole £2 on these trainers, but I'm not going to try and persuade him to buy £60, £70 pair because I know that's not it. That's not it. You've got to come out. If I want to buy him 2 beers, I've really got to take £3 out.
Damn, man.
So if we can go and then find the money to make sure our feet are fresh, and the same Air Force Ones that I remember when Air Force Ones were £45. I ain't going back many, many years, but Air Force Ones now you can't get for less than 70, 80 quid. 75, 80. So if the same trains with the same materials, same style, has gone up nearly doubled in price, how can I then conscientiously charge the same price for my jumpers 15 years ago? It's dumb.
Yeah, that's true.
I shouldn't be doing it.
It's so true. Plus, you put more extra work in it as well, innit? You put extra work in it. Because remember when you first came out, it was like more like a heart. But I could see the illustrations at the back. There's all different stuff happening as well. But it's so true.
I give this, Denise, yeah? The heart, the basic heart, is still my top seller. It's still... I could show someone, I could show you one sec. I could show you all those beautiful jumpers, what handcrafted, yeah? All those pieces that I spent hours cutting out and perfecting the style and whatever. But you see that one there, the green one, yes, sir? Yeah? That is people will watch all of that stuff and still come back and say, how much is just the neon yellow on the black, please? Or the pink on the black? Or give me the black on black. So now I have to put the value into those. This is valuable. Because it's me, but that's as valuable as, if not more so, because you want it. If you didn't want it, then I wouldn't be doing it, would I?
So what have you got on? Can we see what you've got on, by the way? Because that's a roll neck, isn't it?
No, it's not a roll neck. It's a jumper. Hold on.
Oh, I thought it was,
these are a little badge, a chenille badge that I got made 6 months ago in California.
So is that part of your new collection out now? Yeah,
it's a part of a collection that I've been playing with for the last couple of months. Again, it's just my whole thing is because I'm one of them people that I don't have to buy a batch, have to sell that to make my next money to buy the next batch. This brand owes me. How about that? It owes me. So I'll take my hard-earned money that I'll make doing other things and pull it into the brand. I used to take on investors. I used to take on all these people. I'm not doing that anymore. Dead. You know why? Because the kind of people that would approach you, they're talking to you like you're flipping drugs. Clothes is not drugs. Clothes is a long process. Like to really be here, to be able to talk about Showlove, all this time later, it's taken years. Like this is, and it's with dexterity. Like I'm a hard person to kind of, what's the word? I don't hear no. I don't, and if you say no, I might not even say nothing to you. I just look at you and feel like I'm already working out the next move.
I see it. You hear that? I hope you guys have heard that. That's how
I don't sit down. I don't hear, like, I've been like that for years. Like
that's why you are where you're at. Did you hear that, guys? When you hear no, always have a backup plan, because that's me as well. I want to go back to verbal intercourse, because you were saying that how you got that place for free, and the topics that you used to talk about, Carl, it was so wicked. And I remember you guys used to try and outdo each other, speaking like proper Queen English, and it was like a battle, like, like a talk battle. But what I loved about it, that you did that 19 years ago, and they're doing it now with back chat. Do you get what I'm saying? Like they got, which is live now. It's mad.
You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I've come up with everyone, and a lot of my friends, like I can see, man, like Freddie Nwaka just joined and stuff.
Hi, Freddie. I can't even see who's joined.
Yeah, Freddie Nwaka.
Let me see
People like him, I've got so much love for because they've grown from one thing. I remember Freddie as a bouncer. I remember then Freddie was a rapper, and then Freddie's writing films now and stuff. That evolution is so inspiring for me because it shows me that irrespective of where you are in the game and whatever anyone's got to say, you've got to focus on the vision.
Yeah.
The problem with, there was a bit more of a camaraderie. So my friends, my actual friends, are people like Chucky Venice. He's a person I can call a friend. Freddie. I've got countless. I've seen people, there's a guy called K-Matic, actor. Serious actor, but the guy's created his own rum. He's gone and created his own distillery. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm around these people and they, without maybe sometimes not even knowing it, I'm bouncing off that energy. You see, you know what she's, the sad thing about these podcasts, I don't know if you could call Back Chat a podcast. You would, right?
No, it's like on YouTube. So it's like girls and guys, but it's what we used to do.
Would you term it as a podcast? Would you frame it as a podcast?
Or podcast.
Podcast.
I don't know, what would you guys call it? Because I'm not sure. Is it a podcast? Is it
the problem with things like Back Chat, to what we were doing 19 years ago, as you rightly said, we had a point. So with verbal intercourse, we took one subject and we chopped it up and discussed it until it made sense. And sometimes within 3 hours, 4 hours, we used to get there at 7, leave there at like 10:30, 11.
No, remember,
you're not gonna get everyone chilling and understanding at the same pace, and sometimes you've got to revisit the subject or whatever. These people are not doing that. It's about who makes the most sense right now, who can be the loudest, who can bad you up by shouting the next person. That's what I saw. My son likes it, and he shows me his little moments, and I think it's embarrassing, to be honest, because there's no direction for the whole thing. I mean, I challenged the guy that created it. I know he's from Stratford as well. See,
we actually challenged him. You say
I would challenge him to show me the direction.
You hollered at him and then challenged him.
No. I'm not. See, all of that. I'm not here to provide information or whatever, unless someone asks for it. I'm not here to tell people off and whatever. But when you look at a lot of these podcasts, they're built on sensationalism. They're the worst parts of how we communicate. And the big ironic thing for me now is, I grew up in East London, again, I keep repeating that, whatever. I grew up around a lot of white guys, yeah? And sometimes, when I look at it, like, obviously my parents are Caribbean. I went to, they put a lot of energy in, they bullied me into making sure I went uni and stuff. So it forced me to become more academic, yeah? Which I can't thank them enough for, because back then I was like, but now I understand so much more why that was so imperative, that I had my head down there and was grafting, yeah? So in terms of, you can't be from London and still sound one way, respectfully. Like, when I hear people talk a little like you get like, when they talk like that and that's all they can do, I find that embarrassing. Like, why are you only surrounding yourself with the same type of person? We live one doorway or a street away from all these different cultures. You should be able to flip your dialect. You should be multi-bilingual. Not in that enough language, but we can at least reason in different ways. So when I see things like respectfully Back Chat, it just sounds loud and black to me. And I am black. I am black, and I can be loud, but that's not all. That's not it. It's not just those two dynamic. We need to do more. We need a podcast that involves different cultures, reasoning, not trying to talk over each other. We need to chop it up. There's so many things that we need to break down, that we like, even the concept of this Black Pound Day, yeah? And now I just want to, there's only like 7 people here, so it's cool.
Well, remember this, yeah? A lot of people's going to watch it afterwards and I post it.
Cool. But listen, don't inbox me about nothing, because I don't care. I'll just say what I've got to say. Buy a jumper or allow me. Simple. but what I'm saying, yeah, is the way we reason. That's my point, you know.
What are you trying
I've
to
got so much to say. I've got so much to say.
Well, I'm going to talk about the
Yeah,
clothes.
go on, give me some questions because I just lost myself in my head.
So,
Go on.
what's your main inspirations behind your designs?
I'll be honest with you. I've got a very busy mind. Like my mind is, I can't relax. I've got a problem with sleep. I always have done.
Yeah, me too.
I think it was come from watching porn when I was about 13, 14. Like, you know, you got to wait for the whole house to go to bed, and then you go and get your dad's videotapes, and then quickly sort yourself out before you go back to bed. You know what I mean? Sometimes that might take 2 hours. But I suffered from you know, you're up all night. What's that called? Sleep. Like you just can't sleep. Like,
Yeah.
2-3 hours sleep.
Oh, is that what you get a day?
2-3 hours I used to have. It's got better now, but now at tops I can do 6 hours. I can't sleep more than 6 hours.
Oh, that's
my
good.
Mind, the minute I start, it's not good. Look at my bags.
Well, I think I can't sleep for that long. I got problems with sleeping from
It's
day
not
one.
good because the minute I start thinking, and literally more time is ideas. It's ideas. Like I have an idea and I think that would look sick. And God bless the fact that I got my own equipment in my yard. Fire it up. I've got a bag of materials and whatever, and I'll just make it happen.
So I want to ask you another. So tell us, because I know you're a speaker, because you're also a motivational speaker from back in the days. Yeah. So how did you? What was like? How did you? How did you make your transition from being a speaker to becoming actual fashion designer? Because it's like you're not. You know, like you didn't study fashion.
Yeah.
You didn't. You didn't work in the industry. Like you didn't work your way up. Did you actually assist anyone?
No, I didn't. I never assisted. No. So all that. So you know, when people talk to me now, I remember a few years ago, a woman approached me, quite a few years ago, 2000 and I think about 11, 12. A woman approached me to be part of London Fashion Week, and I was like, I did that. What do you mean? Like, what do you want? And she was like, no, I wanted to bring a collection, and it just felt so like far away from what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to knock out some jumpers. I'm trying to.
But that's good though. So you got approached from British Fashion Council to do London Fashion Week.
Someone, I don't even know if she was. She might even not have been legit. She might just wanted a slice. I don't know.
Did she want you to pay, or was it like for free?
No, she was talking about. She just, you know, what I don't trust is when people talk faster than I can pick up what they're saying.
What do you mean by that? I don't understand.
It's like if you're just talking at me about what you can do and you're not, we're not having a conversation with, because I'm a talker and I'm a communicator, right? So if I hear someone talking double time, I don't like double timers. Like I disengage, I disconnect.
So did she talk to you? So she obviously spoke to you on the phone.
Yeah, but then we met up and she wanted to see the designs and to see what she could take to London Fashion Week. But it's just all too fast for me, and I just dropped her out.
Wow, that's deep.
Maybe because you got to know where you're putting your foot. Like if I don't, it's like when people say to me, "Oh, do you remember going to this club, that club?" Yeah, when I was 15. As I got to like my 20s, I didn't go clubs because unless I know who's on, like the doorman or the guy running the event, I'm not going to queue up to go to a club. That might sound arrogant, but it's understanding like what you're trying to put out there, who you are, what you are, what you're about. And if you can relate that back to fashion, it's like when you say, "Oh, you became I didn't become a guest speaker or like a motivational speaker by choice. I just talked in front of the right people, and then they said, "You know what, come do it at my school, come do that here, come do that for the Black British Police Association." I worked with Leroy Logan and then people there. A guy called Vivar Moon. I worked with what's that guy's name? The light skinned guy. Anyway.
But, have you had any collaborations with any other designers or any other designers or any artists?
I've tried so many different things, to be fair. We did a fashion show years ago. I had a bigger team back then. I worked with a team, a guy called Ben, Shah Brown. She just popped up a little while ago. Lee Jasper, that's right. Nana just said Lee Jasper. Anyway, so sorry. I worked with a bigger team, and we put this big fashion show called bloody hell, Live, Laugh, Love, something so. And it was just a way of, no, I'm lying. Fame 3000 is my brand, is my concept. So we got 6 artists who are quite hot at the time to link up with 6 brands, and rather than have the artist have dancers and stuff for their performance, the brand would facilitate models to kind of model around the artist, and the artist would wear a centerpiece. And we did that, and it was, you know what, it was just a way ahead of its time. We did it. We had like a decent budget. We put it on that Troxy. We sold tables. We did all this stuff, and I think we only ended up selling half the tickets. And the kind of people that we were trying to attract, they didn't really understand it. Again, they wanted to laugh. They wanted to come to a comedy show. They wanted to get an expensive meal for them and their people and pop champagne. It's really difficult to sell anything to that set of people, respectfully. I'm not dissing anyone.
What do you mean by that set of people? Who are you talking about?
Because you got to realise, when we look at the consumer, breaks down to different strata, breaks down to different pockets. If you, like my son, I'm going to put a little bit on blast, he buys designer wear. Like, he might spend £4 in a t-shirt. He's a good looking boy that likes to look the part in that respect. And when I look at it, like, I've been grafting with this brand since he was, like, it's 2003, born 98, since he was 5. They've seen the graft, they've seen the struggle. But yeah, at 21, 22, my man likes designer wear. I can't get him to wear my brand. And when you really look at that generational handover, yeah, we could vibe off the fact that it's a bit sad or whatever. Because as I said, if God forbid anything happens to me, he definitely ain't going to pick it up. Yeah. But I'm having to learn from him. Why is that? What is it about us that we have to wear such expensive things beyond our means? Because respectfully, even if you've got £500 or you make 100 grand a year, you still shouldn't be buying £500 t-shirts.
Yeah, that's true. You can get so many t-shirts with that.
Know what I mean?
A whole wardrobe,
really,
you can get a whole collection.
Really, I mean, we could get a little bit deeper when we look at those young, I'm not saying young people, because a lot of older people do this same shit. My stuff that don't, like, it doesn't resonate. It looks, those shoes look incredible. Even getting a bit deeper, we make it look incredible. And I don't just mean black people. I mean, there's a certain style in the way people wear stuff that makes it look right. That look, like Yeezys. When I first saw Yeezys, I thought, what's going on here? Is that the one over? Is on the laugh, yeah? But the more you see the way people drop it, especially the London boy, I challenge international people on that thing. Because the way we drop our thing, it just makes it like, raw, hold on. He's got something here. The Americans dress like us now.
Yeah,
look at how they're skinny jeans, ripped,
all of them, they look exactly like us.
Bomber jacket, little denim jacket, little biker jacket, whatever. My point is, we kind of understand that we run that game. I know a lot of designers, there's a few, like Patrick Kevin got it. There's a guy that did Dope Chef, I can't remember his name now, but Dope Chef back in the day, bad boy brand. I think the Trap Star boys get it. I think they're slightly different demographic. But we replicate that culture. So then why are we going to buy Prada now?
Yeah,
like,
for real.
How does it make, it doesn't resonate. Yeezys ain't cheap, but at least it kind of is almost like a backspin from the culture coming back to us. When Prada's came out, that you had to really check yourself. Because no one can't tell me Prada's are pretty.
I know, I bust up my neck when I used to work in Selfridges to buy a pair of 250 Pradas, boy. And the shoes, like, it was mad. The trainers, you're right, they weren't pretty.
But that's on the spectrum of mental health. Because people,
for real.
Why I say that is because people are robbing Pradas. I know there's a bunch of South boys that if you had a pair of Pradas and they just take them off you, whether they wanted them for themselves or not, they're just taking them, and they go home at the end of it and work out which one's who's getting what sizes. That's nuts. That's
mad.
Risking your liberty for some shoes that, like, because it's not real. Because it showed me that boy, how's that boy got a double bed in his yard? When's the last time he bought his mum a fresh piece of chicken or done a shopping for mum? but yet you've got all this drip. We're consumed by drip. I like to look good. I like to, but I said from a young age, I would say like mid-20s when I started the brand, I'm not wearing none of these design anymore. If it's not my own brand, it's going to be plain, 100%. And I've kept to that. Now, wear designers. I've
You reckon
given...
it's something that we... Oh, sorry.
No, go
Don't
on.
you think it's something that we all go through? Because when I was younger, in my 20s, I was on the Prada, the Miu Miu, the Gucci. Like, I used to be working Vivienne Westwood earrings. I was working on the weekend as a single mom just to make sure that I've got designer clothes on. So it's something that a lot, because we all used to go through. When I used to go to House and Garage, Jungle, them days, you had to have on designer clothes to fit in. So do you reckon it's something,
yeah,
something
I think
that...
we all go through, but we got to look here generationally, yeah? Let's get a little bit historical quickly, yeah? If we look at our grandparents, and that's where I'll start, because that was a Windrush generation here when they came over. They came over on them boats in different ways, and there were people in this country.
Oh gosh, say that again. They came over
on those boats, yeah, but there were black people in the country before, yeah. Anyway, they were just happy to be invited and be not necessarily accepted, because they went through a lot to put their feet down and graft their money to just feed. They were just happy with a roof over their head, somewhere to sleep, some sort of semblance of family life, yeah. Their children, which was our parents, they had a bit of a different tack, because now they've been around it. They've grown up in this country. The first generation Black British people, yeah, their parents are Caribbean. Yeah, they've got this link back to Africa or wherever. But we came at things a little bit different. We wanted more than just employment. We wanted to move. We wanted a career. So when you look at our mums and our dads, particularly our mums, they were able to excel because they had a different kind of, so what we might call that impetus to have to buy designers, then people were dealing with that with establishing themselves. There was a shift. I'm not saying everyone was like that. It's not a blanket statement, but I'm just looking at shifts, yeah? Our culture now, our generation, our time, our era when we were young, yeah, designer was a thing, and you could feel like not accepted, not part of your group, which was very important, if you didn't have the right jacket on or the right trains on. I understand that. But for what designers cost now,
yes, mad.
You're basically wearing your mortgage. You're wearing your mortgage on your feet. That can't make sense if you don't own a house already. And even if you do own a house, the uptake and maintenance on a house, it still doesn't justify you wearing that on your feet. It don't make sense. And who are you doing it for? Like, what you trying to do? You're trying to attract people. Because I know, and I learned this from a young age, if a girl was into me because of what I was wearing, easily we're not going to get on, because I might look like a tramp tomorrow to you. Then what? How about that? And you got to realize, when I started Showlove 17 years ago, no one, friends, family, no one wanted to hear it. No one gave a shit. Like, I was producing stuff. I can sell, innit? I'm a seller. I can make you feel like you need to buy it. I can guilt you, shame you, whatever. I was very good at that. That's how I bust truth. Like,
I love that. Do you know what? So when you say that, how nobody believed in you, I mean, are you just saying you actually said nobody?
No. I didn't say that. So let me frame it right. I'm not saying no one believed in me. But what I am saying, they didn't give a shit. People pacify you. Like, they'll say, "Oh, this is great," but then you say something, "Well, that t-shirt 20 quid." And well, I'm not buying one. I was getting that from my inner circle. I fell out with a lot of people off the back of that, because I'll see a man spend. Back then it was night tracksuits or whatever, and he'd spend, like, I don't know, we weren't as expensive as it is now, but he'd spend maybe 80 quid on a night tracksuit, 70 quid. I'm asking you for 15 quid for my t-shirt. And
they can't even support that.
Am I all right? You're asking me if I'm all right. Like,
what?
Like,
yeah.
So I fell out with a few people. Yeah, I mean, years later you fix things and whatever, but my point is, that's not new. That's a culture. Like, I could say, my son says to me now, my 15-year-old will say, "Oh, Dad, boom, I need some new clothes." And I said, for the same 2 bills, I'll go and spend on that one night tracksuit, or 150 or whatever it is, the night tech tracksuit. It's £80 for the top, £80 for the bottoms, whatever. I could give you 10 Showlove tracksuits for that. No, I just want.
What? No, it'll be like,
False.
listen, this is what
That's
you're wearing, innit? You're wearing
no. You
my
can't.
clothes.
You know what? You could say that, but it's not going to work. It's
Mm.
not going to work because, like, there'll be a disconnect. That's why I allow my children to be who they are. Like, whatever you need, if I can do it, I'll be there. I'll supply. And
Yeah.
it shouldn't be based on what I want you to have or what I'm forcing you. That's dead. Because I wasn't raised like that. What am I raising you like that for? But my point is, you've got to look at it like generationally. This is my legacy. I've been building my legacy for a long time. You can say, yeah, my dad was a motivational speaker. That conversation dead. We can even talk about the fact that we did verbal intercourse back in 2001. No one cares. Like, the amount of people that will say, oh, why aren't you doing your own podcast? Because, and then what?
But why?
And I've seen people make this is the problem. This is the problem, Denise. Let me just. I can see your you. Thank you for reminding me, Nana. I can see you and hear my thoughts on Black Pound Day. I'll come back to that. I will come back to that. But no one gives a shit, and I don't mean that to denigrate the buying public or people that support what you do or invest in you as a brand or whatever. But when I talk about no one giving a shit, I mean, people are so self-involved. You've got to now join them where they are, as opposed to trying to desperately make them buy, like this Black Pound thing. I will talk about it now. The reason I'm not, I understand why it's coming to effect, and from what I understand, it came off the back of the BLM movement, which got a little bit of a kick based on, you know, the first lockdown or whatever. Because I think people had time to sit back and reflect and think, actually, boom, boom, boom. But to be honest, I need you to buy my stuff every single day because that's how many ideas I've got. So the one Black Pound Day, whether it comes from a black pound, a green pound, an Asian pound, a Scottish, I don't care. I see the money take the account. That's not being me being dismissive or ignorant. It's just, I'm like, the moment I start working and fixating on the money, you lose everything else. And I've been there, trust me. I've been so caught up with how much I got on my account and what I can do and what my next move is. I forgot about what I'm actually doing. So now it's a lot smaller, it's a lot more bespoke, it's a lot more carefully produced, but it's craft. And more importantly than anything with this brand, it is therapeutic. So when you see me sitting, when you see me sitting down and I make these videos where I'm cutting up the bits of to create a bigger piece, that is me. I might be going through some serious mental health struggle, but that allows me to, 100%. But that allows me to just take time and play some good music in the background whilst I'm doing it. I can't beat that.
I love that, because you know what? I love that because when I was teaching young people who go through depression and everything, how to customize their clothing. And that's especially when you do crystal rhinestones and they're doing it one by one. That's a good way, a very therapeutic way of how to keep them calm. And as you said, music in the background and engage them. And because also I know that you work with people with mental health. Like, how do you work with people with mental health in the day and then go back later on and do your creativity?
As I said, like, I don't really sleep much, if I'm honest. I sleep maybe 3-4 hours a day, maybe 5. 6 is a struggle. So thankfully I've kind of gone like that with mental health thing quite quickly. So I'm able to go and do my whole day, but the ideas don't stop. Like, I might send myself a picture of something or make a note in my notes about, and trust me, most of the design you see, I've got a picture in my head. Not a picture inspired by anything other than I have these thoughts that I articulate in terms of shapes and patterns and colours.
Wow.
It's mad. It's nuts.
It's
a bit Raymanish, but it's real.
It's
just,
What so you know, like, have you ever got an inspiration from someone with mental health into your actual collection, but actually one of your clients? Has that ever happened?
When you say inspiration, as in, so for instance, I know you deal with people with mental health, their story, their background, where they're coming from,
Has it ever?
We've got to frame it right. I don't deal with people with mental health because we are all dealing with everyone with mental health. Everyone's got some mental health issues, yeah.
Yeah.
What I deal with is people with mental illness.
Oh, illness.
People that are mentally unwell. That's who I work with.
Okay.
Yeah. So mental health is. Me and you having this conversation now is healthy for our mental dexterity. You know, all of us to kind of bounce and share ideas or whatever. I get lost a lot in my own thoughts, so this is good for me because it's helping me focus a little bit on boom, boom, boom. But mental illness is when you're staring someone with mental illness in the face and really trying to make sense of where they're coming from. Then you know, like, well, you got to be grateful. You know, the fact that you can follow your thoughts through and collect your thoughts, and you can say you're going to do something, can end up doing it, and not be so distracted or so anxious or so depressed or so psychotic that you can't do that thing. It might be something simple like I'm going to go and make a cup of tea at 10 o'clock, but by 10 o'clock you don't know where your head's going to be. We can all say that to a degree, but when you deal with someone with mental illness, it's a very different game. The reason I kind of went into that field of that expertise, or I could have gone to Mendy from 2 years ago, which I did, is because I created my own acting school for a few years with a good friend of mine, yeah. And
wow,
actors, I'm not saying all actors, because some actors are my good friends. I've got some really good friends who are actors, but actors at a certain level, trying to get a certain thing based on their ideology, are the fakest people you've ever met in your life. And it wears you down. I found it very unhealthy. It began to weigh deep on me. And it stopped. I didn't do any creative fashion stuff for 2 years, trying to work out acting stuff, because my job was to basically inflate the ego of another person for a certain amount per hour. That is the most debilitating work you can ever do, because there's no peace in it. And as soon as that person goes through something that they deem wrong, they don't blame themselves. They come back to you and say, that was your fault. And you got to now fill me up again. Mental health, mental illness is honest. At least they're not trying to be anything but what they are. And you can reason. I can work with that. Even though it's random sometimes, it comes from nowhere, whatever, at least I can meet you there. I can't meet you there when you're not even really there. You're just pretending to be. That's dead. But I so reject. That's why my circle is super tight. I so reject and refute fake. I don't even mean fake where people just chatting shit or lying or whatever. I mean, you have no. You're the questions you're asking me and yourself are not. They're not going to get you any further. They're actually going to hinder you. Do you see what I'm saying? It's deep. Like, some of the conversations I have daily that I have to disengage from are really, 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 like, you might see they're basic. And people think I've got a bit of an ego off the back of it. They think, oh, you're a bit up your own arse. I'm not. I know where I want to put my energy now. It's simple. It's taking.
But you get to relax. Do you actually get to relax yourself? Do you have?
Yeah, 100%. But so I'm saying, when you see these designs, that's my relaxation time.
So what about holidays? I mean, before the lockdown, was you going away? Like,
oh yeah, nothing? I went to Thailand the year before. Yeah, had a wicked time. A couple of weeks in Thailand. Beautiful. But as I said, like, I just feel like these are working years. Not to say I don't want a holiday and I don't relax or whatever, but I can't be on a grind, definitely not in a job at 53 in 10 years. So I have to do everything I have to do now while I've got my limbs and my mind. Do it now. Like, that job ain't going to do what I need to do, really. Do you see what I'm saying? What's going to bust is, and this is where I get the turning point on my my fashion label, yeah? My jumpers went from 50, 60 quid. My basic jumper is now 120, my basic one, yeah? The ones you're seeing on the back with the little sexy designs and little cut piece and stuff, yeah? They will start at £200. And this time next year, they're not going to be £200, they're going to be £500. You see what I'm saying? I'm escalating my value. And that is not coming out the back of nowhere. I'm actually doing research and paying for stuff. Like when I paid for this beautiful Chanel badge to be created and made in California, it took 3 months to get it because of COVID and that. That's me investing in a process to see if it works. That's not to say, oh, I've bought 100 of these badges, I can sell them for this now. No, I have to, there's so many tests and stuff to make sure it goes well with my brand, it works, it washes well. People ain't going to come back and say, well, where the money go, like I spent this. You got to get all, this is what I'm saying, people can't with brands, they don't even know if the thing is durable. You and your graphic designer coming up with this fancy Swish logo, it's not really a brand. It is, it's just ego.
But oh my gosh, I'm enjoying this so much. I have to wrap up now because of time. Because you know Instagram, they just shut off. So I just want to wrap up, and I want to say, what do we need to look out for next year with your brand? Because you're saying that you're gonna
not next year, now. Look out now, today.
Let's talk about
go to my page today.
Yeah, let's talk about today then. Yeah,
I don't put prices on my page because I'm enjoying people DMing me and saying how much is this. My website is in development. It's been developed for a few months now.
Okay,
it'll be the 5th website I've had in 17 years. Yeah, and it's going to be a fully e-commerce website. It's going to make sense of a lot of what I'm saying, but right now it's value. Like I'm not saying to all the different people that might view this, oh, please come and patronize my brand. Please spend some money, keep me going. I need it. No, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do a thing. If you do want something, it's going to be real.
You're going to be selling your brand, guys.
No. It's going to be real. I keep it very real. Like, you see, the process is as real. The website, showlove.london. It's on its way.
And have you got any tips for anybody who's starting out, for up and coming designers?
I just think it's when you say that word, I wouldn't even see myself as a designer like that. I create this brand and it's design orientated, it's concept orientated, but it's about what do you really want? Do you want to be sitting down at London Fashion Week with, you know, that pose where they're just nodding and shit with their or do you want to sell some product? My inspiration came from Asian guys in Petticoat Lane, in the markets, in Commercial Road. They sell volume. They don't know what they're selling half the time, but they're just selling volume. And the man said to me, don't try to sell thousands of things and make a little profit. Sell a few things but make a large profit on those few things.
I love that.
That's where I'm going.
I love that.
Curation.
Can you tell the viewers how can they reach you one more time, your Instagram page, just in case they
Showlove London.
Thank you. So, do you know what? I want to ask you a question before I wrap up. So, you know, verbal intercourse. Is there any way, because you know, obviously, since cause it's lockdown now, and a lot of people are going through a lot of depression, and people now they have to stay at home, and not everybody can cope. Is there any way that you can create something for people like ourselves, so we all can connect? We can have a discussion group. We can.
I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I'm a little bit raw at the moment. I shouldn't be. Like, even this was a bit of a challenge. Because as much as I sound like I make sense, I at the same time, I'm still working a lot of stuff out. And this is where I want to, before I start becoming a part of anything like that, I want to have clarity with myself. There's got to be a certain amount of peace, and I'm too reactive right now. Like, I'm seeing a lot of stuff that is trouble. It troubles me and it upsets me. And that's not to say that can't be used, but we need to become a little bit more intelligent, rather than emotionally charged, emotionally reactive. And I've been working on that for a few years. So I'm not ready to do that yet.
Okay, I love the honesty. Though.
No, 100%.
I love it.
I'm not gonna play games with anyone. Like, when it happens, it'll be real, and it will be. You know me, I throw myself into things that I don't hold back. Okay,
so we'll be looking out for that one as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Denise. Appreciate you, man.
I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us today. We had such an amazing time. Guys in the background, I'm sorry I couldn't get to read your messages because it's all over the place. But I just want to say thank you so much for joining me today. I've learned so much, about you and about your brand and about, you know, where you're coming from. You're very inspirational, and you've been inspirational from day one. Thank you again.
All right. No problem.
And I'll be speaking to you soon. Thanks a lot.
Take care. All right, bye.
Bye. Right, guys. Hi, I'm back. I just want to say thank you guys again for joining in. I'm going to be sharing this video. I'm sorry if you didn't get, if I couldn't respond back to you because I was just tuning in. And this Wednesday, I'm interviewing men's style influencer named Mandy. So I want you guys to tune in. So if you want to know about how to be a men's influencer, sorry. If you guys want to learn how to, sorry, Denise, come on, I'm thirsty. If you guys, you know what, furthermore, tune in this Wednesday, 6 o'clock. I've got a lifestyle men's blogger. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys. Thanks again for tuning in. And another thing as well, guys, I'm going to be selling my hat soon. So if you lot want some more information about my lovely hats that I've got on, I've got loads of different colors. Inbox me and then I'll send you the prices and stuff. And I'm also going to be selling these cute earrings as well. And yeah, so thanks once again. And if you're not following my YouTube channel, click on YouTube at Denise Brown Stylist. I've got fashion videos and motivations. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye.